Hello, everybody. This is your host, Blake Wright, with Central Valley Charter Schools, and you're listening to your Transition Podcast. So today we have a very special guest, our very own Aide Rodriguez. Woo! So excited. She is an administrative assistant as well as our student support specialist. For Central Valley Charter Schools. So one of our very, very own. We're so excited to have her on today to talk with us. So Aide has been so kind to give us some of her precious time to share a little bit about herself, more about what she does, and even give us some insight into how organization and time management helps with her role. She might even answer some fun Halloween questions for us since it's that spooky season. Awesome. So hold on for a moment. One sec. I think there's someone at the studio door. That's weird. I had the do not disturb light on, so I'm not really sure. Someone must not have seen it. Hold on one sec. Maybe it's a trick-or-treater. I'm not sure.
Hey, everybody.
Hey!
I thought while I was outside the studio, I thought I heard you talking to yourself, asking if there were trick-or-treaters or something. And what I'll tell you and the audience is definitely too early for those trick-or-treaters. What it is, I'm not trick-or-treating. I just couldn't stay away from our studios. I love this podcast. I love what we do here in Transition. I love the resources we share. I love it all. So I begged my boss, Yolanda Vasquez, our SCL team leader and our transition team leader, if I could please come back to this podcast. And in fact, I'll just kind of let the cat out of the bag. I offered to trade Mrs. Yolanda, our fearless leader, all of my Whoppers. So she loves the candy Whoppers. And so I'm not a huge Whoppers fan. Don't tell her I said that. But I told her, I said, tell you what, let me come back to the podcast and you can have all the Whoppers from my Halloween loot. What do you think? Is that a good bargain or good trade?
I think that's a great trade, Jonathan. I love it. I think, don't tell her. I think that might be the steal of the century right there. I am so excited. Oh, it's so good to see you again, Jonathan. It's so good to have you back on our podcast. That's amazing. So, I mean, you already kind of said a little bit, but like, how are you feeling? What brought you back? Are you back?
I'm back. I will say before I tell you why I'm back, I wasn't ready. I wasn't about to give up my Snickers or my Reese's. Anything chocolate and peanut butter is definitely my. I call it my love language. So why am I back? Simple as this. I love what I do. At times throughout your career, I'll tell our listeners, I'll tell our students, I'll tell our alumni. Um, you'll hit the pause button on projects, as well as the resume button at times. Also, there'll be times where you want to expand and discover. And I just want to let our listeners know that that is perfectly okay. Companies and organizations value that. They value that honesty, sharing your gifts, and then also being honest about what your gifts are, what they are and what they aren't. So don't be afraid is what I tell students to try new things, to explore, to hit the pause button, to hit the resume button, but always you want to make sure that you have that open, clear, and honest communication. So that's it in a nutshell. We have a great podcast today, so I definitely want to get into that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure everybody listening right now is just as excited as I am to have my amazing co-host back. So, those of you listening, drop your love in the comments for him. Subscribe, like, and show our love that Jonathan's back. Awesome. We're hitting that resume button, hitting that record button here in the studios. So we could catch up all day. But we don't want to keep our guest Ide waiting. And so without further ado, Ide. All right, Jonathan, would you like to do the honors?
I thought you never asked, Blake. I would love to. Ide, welcome to your transition podcast, and thank you so much for being here today.
I'm so happy to be a part of this studio, to sit here and talk with you guys. Got to chat actually on this podcast. It is actually my honor. So thanks, guys, for letting me join you guys today. I'm so excited.
I know it's a little bit of it's a big privilege. We got the leather couches here, the soundboard, we got
All of
sparkling
it.
water, and then we're graced with your presence, which is like the best gift of all. So I would like to just start off by asking you to share with our listeners an idea or a little bit about what your job title is, as well as just some of the responsibilities that you do.
So let me start with me being the student support specialist for our SPED transition team, which means that I support our director, Yolanda Vasquez, and our SPED teachers, our SPED transition teachers, which is Eva Marie, Elizabeth, Sarah, April. My job coaches, Jonathan and Blake. I also work in conjunction with Yolanda with the McKinney Vento. It's our program that we use for our unhoused families. We also support the SEL Tier 3 community, which is booming right now with our school. And we have the privilege to have this program for our students here. And fun fact, it's maybe not a fun fact, but it's just to share that outside in the outside community of our school, it takes about 3 to 6 months to get additional help for our students out there in the real world. But here in our school, we get to, in our charters actually, we get to reach out to the families and to the students within 3 to 6 weeks, if not sooner. So that is awesome. So that I am excited to share. And that's pretty much what I do here at, other than, help out with my teams and families. So that's it's nothing to me, but it's everything for me for this school. So
Yeah, I don't know what we would do without you, Ide. Honestly,
thanks, guys.
you're amazing, and we're so lucky to have you, and again to have you here with us in our studio. And so we just had a podcast too on like organization and time management. Um, so that you listeners can find here on our channel. And so go check that out. But no, I was wondering with organization, time management, and stuff. You have so many hats that you wear. So how big of a role does that play in your job?
Well, Blake, it is a huge role having to be able to change, change your hats in on a daily basis. There's moments that I'm thinking, oh, my today my day is going to be, I'm going to ride this smooth wave today so that I can catch up on some other work that I had not touched, yesterday or the day before. And because of that, I have to look at my calendar and try to organize myself with that. But then we do get a lot of fire drills. We get fire drills that turn into fires. Um, and depending on the priority of each fire, I have to stop, drop, and roll pretty much with our director, Yolanda, who is nonstop on the go. I have to be her on her radar to make sure that I'm on her level at all times. So, with that being said, it's very difficult, but it's the funnest daily ride to take. And ending the day having to help our families or somebody in need at that time, that moment, and I dropped anything to be there for my team, my director, or for a family, that's priceless to me. So it is difficult, but at the end, you kind of work with it. You have to just go with the flow. It's like a dance, right? You got to go with the rhythm of the day, the rhythm of the routine, the dance. And at the end, as soon as you turn off that music, you know you did something right that day.
For those, thank you so much for sharing that, Aide. And for those listeners who you're you're not really familiar as to what some of the administrative or the classified staff do. I can assure you, in working with Ida, that she is a service person, and it's all about supporting our families and our students. So thank you so much for sharing. Wanted to just kind of segue into like tips and strategies that you use. So you have a lot of hats, um, putting out a lot of fires, providing optimal customer service to our families. What are just some tips and strategies? I know we don't have a ton of time today, but maybe you could just kind of share some tips, strategies, and or tools that you use.
So what I typically do, as you guys know, I do wear several hats in on our team here. What I do, definitely what I do before I go to bed is I try to look at my calendar to kind of know what kind of day I'm supposed to be having the next day. Uh, and I look at my calendar that's next day. And before I open up my brain, I try to reach out to my director and I say, okay, this is what I have on task today. This is what I show for me to work on. Is there something that you need me to take priority on that? If there's something that's taking priority, that I work on that. I also have uh, a little tickler file that I look at on a daily basis that reminds me of, hey, you snoozed something, go ahead and get on it. Hey, you need to work on something, you got to get on that. You got a couple of days to return that deadline questionnaire or whatever. That's what I do. Without my little reminders, honestly, I have post-its all over the place in front of. If I could take a picture, you guys would laugh. I have post-its of, and I'm. It's not only for me. I also need to make sure that I keep Yolanda, which is my director. I'm gonna keep repeating that because it's my thing. Um, I have to remind her on certain things because she's on the go at all times. She's on at all times. So I do have my post-its, I have my tickler file, I have my task reminder on my Google, and it's just on it. Bing, bing, bing. I just hear it and I see it. And that's pretty much what I do. And I over communicate sometimes with my director and my team that I'm like, hey guys, just a reminder, just a reminder, just a reminder, because it also helps me remind myself. So being organized and just having my notebook. I have my notebook with notes at all times. I have my post-its, I have my tickler file, I have my taskbar of reminders on at all times, because you know what? Life happens. You do forget, and when you're in the moment of working on one thing, guess what happens? My brain starts telling me, oh my gosh, you got to work on this, you got to work on A, you got to work on B, you got to work on C. But if I don't write it down, I'll forget it and it'll fall through the cracks. And some of this stuff you cannot let fall through the cracks. And the majority of what I like to work on, and it just ignites my passion, is working with families, especially with our SEL families. I cannot let anything fall through the cracks with that. If I, I cannot and I will not, because that's my passion. I want to make sure that before I end my day, we helped our families. We finished what we needed to do to make them, not only the families, but the students, to make sure that they academically were prepared for that day and they had the resources they need on that day. So
I love it. I love it so much. I just a lot of good information in there, and you kind of you kind of answered the next question I had, which was why is staying organization and managing your time so important? You mentioned in there how um, forgetting, like if you don't have these tools, your calendar. I mean, you said you look at your calendar the night before, you'll forget, and is there any other tools? I would love to share. Like, I love Google Task is a great tool and
Mhm.
strategy that I use. I know
Actually, I have to say, excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt you. You were the one. You were the one that introduced me to that. So
Google Task. I love
we
it.
talked about it in one of our meetings, and I said, well, there it goes. I'm gonna use that too. I mean, we can never have enough reminders, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
and something too is different things work differently for different people. So find what works. Some people I work with, they hate Google Task, and then they wind up loving Todoist, which is a great app that you can use. So find what works. But any other tips or resources that you use before I hand it over to Blake?
We can go on and on and on with tips and resources and things that I use. But you know what, guys? I like to talk. I can keep you guys here for the podcast the entire afternoon, and I don't want to bore our viewers either and our families. But I think I'm going to stick with the important information that I presented to you. And I think, honestly, those top four were the ones that have helped me and keep me on task this year.
Love
So,
it. Love it. Blake, go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Heidi. That was amazing. So
of
many
course.
just really wonderful insight and everything. And like it's really just incredible. I would honestly I would lose my mind, and I'm still on the journey of organization, like I have graduated from because I used to do post-it notes everywhere. And like Jonathan said, some things work for some people and not. And I started with post-it notes and I thought it worked for me, but I didn't know what note was for what and when, and it was just a mess in the office. And I picked up Todoist, which Jonathan introduced me to, and it's made such a big difference. But anyways, no, thank you so much again, Ide, for all those. And so for some less serious questions, we have Jonathan and I have some holiday related questions. This podcast is dropping on Halloween. It's very spooky. Getting organized can be kind of scary itself as well.
Oh gosh.
Um, but Jonathan, would you like to ask our first Halloween question here?
Yeah, so real quick, we're gonna go through these real quick.
Oh no. Okay.
Favorite scary movie, favorite candy, and favorite costume.
Okay, so my favorite scary movie. Okay, you guys ready for this? It's a Netflix special. I don't like scary movies, okay? I do not do any scary because I'm a big chicken. But what I do like to watch for Halloween, it just came out Netflix a couple of years ago, maybe last year. What is it? That Halloween one with Adam Sandler. What is it? Um, that I don't even remember which one it is. Something Halloween? Guys, help me out. Guys, help me out.
I'm not quite
Adam
sure.
Sandler. Come on, guys. Now that's a question for you guys. Chicky, chick,
How
chick.
about this? I got it. Our listeners can Google Adam Sandler Halloween movie.
There we go.
First person who puts it in the comment section gets a $5 Starbucks gift
You
card.
know what?
Love
If
it.
they no, I'm gonna top that. I'm gonna add another $10 on top of that because now I can't even remember the movie.
And I want to watch it now. Okay, how about favorite candy and costume?
Okay, favorite candy, guys. Big surprise. It's boring. It's lemon heads. Okay, the little box of lemon heads. Boring. But I'm a big candy freak. So you know what? You ask me, I'll be like going to the Dollar Tree. I'll go to the Dollar Tree and I'll get a box of just candies. So, but that has to be the first thing on my list and in my basket. But guys, guess what? Look it. You guys know I'm a candy freak. Can you guys see this? Can you guys see it? It's a jelly belly. They're jelly bellies. Can you
I
guys see
love
it?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I like candy.
Mhm.
Yeah, jelly bellies, anything like that. It's my favorite on my desk. That's pretty scary. Um, Favorite costume. My favorite costume has to be, and because I have children, we like to dress up a lot. But I'd say that the last one that I had, Miss Incredible. Mrs. Incredible, guys. I
Love it.
Very
I'm a
fitting.
mom, so I want to feel incredible. I want to pretend I can do everything like some of these, like that mom on that movie. Of course, I love Mrs. Incredible. If I had a picture right now, guys, I would totally share it with you, but I don't have it up. But next time I'll make sure. And last year, my husband dressed up as Mr. Incredible and my little one dressed up as Violet. So of course I had to be Mrs. Incredible, guys. Sorry, she's correcting me. She dressed up as Dash, but no, you cannot tell them. No, see, guys, I'm sorry. I have my daughter who's trying to correct me right now. What were you last Halloween?
Yes, we do sometimes have children in the
Yes.
studio, and that's perfectly okay. We love. What are you going to be for? Thank you for coming to our studio. What are you going to be for Halloween?
Well, I'm gonna be Winifred from Hocus Pocus.
I love it.
Love it. Love
Have you
it. And
seen
what's your
Hocus
favorite?
Pocus 2?
Yes, Hocus Pocus 1 and 2.
And two.
Wonderful.
And so we know Mom loves lemon heads. You're going to give Mom all your lemon heads. What candy are you not sharing this year? What's your favorite candy?
I think she's got a lot. She's got a lot to think about.
How about you, Blake, as we kind of wrap up?
M&M's.
M&M's. That's my son. He loves M&M's. How about you, Blake, as we kind of wrap it up? What holiday or Halloween candy are you like looking forward to?
You know, I'm a big nougat person, so I love my Three Musketeers. But I gotta tell you, the one candy I forget about every year is those dark chocolate, where it's like the midnight Milky Ways. I'm a sucker for dark chocolate. I'm a cereal sweet tooth. Literally anything sweet candy related comes my way. Might not see it again.
What about you, Jonathan?
So I love anything chocolate and peanut butter. That is, I shared at the beginning of our podcast today, when it was just Blake and I in the studio, that's my love language. Anything Reese's, or Snickers. I'm like, I'm not sharing that. I'm sorry. I love to share, but not gonna share that.
You're gonna make the kids walk a whole 5 blocks and then just steal all their Snickers and all that. I love it.
Dad needs to look through this to make sure it's safe. And
yes.
So,
yes,
yeah.
for sure.
And you also have to...
We need to check the candies. As soon as they get home, we spread them out and on the floor.
Okay.
And then once it's cleaned out and secured, then I pick and then we give.
Okay. You have to collect the dad and mom tax. The rule. It's a Halloween rule.
Yes, guys. Sorry. I'm going to go ahead and make her step away now. Say goodbye to the audience.
All right. Thank you so much, Aide, for that and for your time today. It was so much fun having you on. And I don't know about you guys, but I learned a lot today. Jonathan, would you like to take us away?
I'd love to. So again, thank you to our guest, Aide, for not only coming on our humble show, but also being just an asset. You're an invaluable asset to our school, our students, and our team. Like a lot of us would be like chickens running around with our heads cut off if it was not for you. Also, just want to tell everyone it's great to be back. I look forward to you guys sending all the Reese's peanut butter cups to my where I work. No, I'm just kidding. I look forward to giving all of you listeners our more amazing tips and resources. And not only me, these resources and tips come from our team. So I should say all us providing these amazing tips and resources, and looking forward to just having fun as the school year goes on. So happy Halloween to everyone. Be safe, and then have that extra candy bar because you deserve it. I went to the dentist, I got the all clear, and so as I walked out yesterday from the dentist's office, I said, all right, I could go have a Snickers now. So I may have a few Snickers, no cavities. So we
Jonathan, we cannot forget our winners of my Halloween movie that I can't even seem to remember. So I will be sending you the $10 gift card to, what? I'm going to do Target. I'm going to do a Target gift card. How's that?
Hey, all right, you heard it. You heard it.
Yes.
So until next time, everyone. So put it in the comments, and then until next time, thank you all for tuning into your transition podcast. We'll see you on the next one.